Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Wantrepreneur Wednesday. My name is Patricia Chimino, and I'm a certified life coach. And I've been bringing this mini series to you where every Wednesday I have been highlighting a different woman entrepreneur. I've been doing that as just to inspire you. Maybe you have a seed of an idea. Maybe you're a entrepreneur and you'd like to become an entrepreneur. Hopefully these little mini sessions, hearing other women's stories, how they started, where they got their inspiration from, will give you an insight and just an idea of the possibilities of what could happen. So I am so honored and flattered to have Sandra Wallin with us today. Actually, I saw Sandra twice today because Sandra is part of my Women Entrepreneurs Mastermind group that I host. So, so Sandra, welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you very much.
Sandra's business, and this is why I threw up the live before I came on. Her business is called the Lymphatic Wellness Clinic. Now, I'm going to be really honest with you guys. I had no idea what the heck lymphatic system was or lymphatic disease. I had no idea. But I'm going to let, there's a key word in here that once she said it, I was like, oh my God, okay, I totally know what this is. So I'm going to let her share who she is and what she does and who it is that she serves. So welcome, Sandra.
Thank you very much.
Missy, I'm glad you're able to join us here. Okay, so
my name is Sandra Wallin. I'm an occupational therapist. I specialize in lymphatic work. I'm a certified lymphedema therapist. It sounds scarier than it really is. It's really actually a really fun job. I have worked my whole career in occupational therapy, so in some sort of physical rehab, and then eventually honed in on a specialty of lymphatic work or lymphedema therapy. So what that involves what lymphedema. Let's talk about the lymphatic system. What the lymphatic system is, it's a system of your body, like your circulatory system, your nervous system. It's another system of the body, but probably the least known system. I think when I was taking a seminar, they said that in medical school, they spend, I think it was like 30 minutes with medical students during the course of their year talking about the lymphatic system. Mm-hmm. And so unless you are choosing to learn more about it, it's very, very kind of an unknown entity. However, the lymphatic system goes through your entire body. It kind of goes hand in hand with your circulatory system. And it is in your fingers, your toes, in your abdomen. It's everywhere. And so it's really important to have a healthy lymphatic system. So what the lymphatic system does, it's been described as the plumbing system of the body. And what it does is, as your circulatory system works, pumping your blood and fluids through your body, some of it leaks out through the vessels. It's totally natural. The lymphatic system is responsible for kind of scooping up all of that fluid that comes out of your blood vessels and returns it back into the circulatory system. It either returns it to the circulatory system or disposes of it through your urinary system if it's not necessary. The other component it has is with immunity. The lymphatic system has a role in immunizing, your cells, promoting fighting diseases. So that's the other component of it. The main component that I deal with is this, the fluid component. And that is mostly important when people have something like inflammation.
Inflammation, people. That's the key word. The
inflammation, which is huge right now. People who have joint pain, diffuse puffiness, swelling, bloating, sometimes people will say just inflammation. They have inflammation and they just have kind of a brain fog. Inflammation from the allergens that are kind of seasonal allergies or other things. People just feel not themselves. This taxes our lymphatic system. Our lymphatic system has to work harder, and sometimes it needs a little bit of extra help. In the perfectly healthy person, the lymphatic system works fine. Exercise promotes lymphatic movement, deep breathing, things like that. Things that people do all the time. But sometimes it needs a little bit of help. When you're sick, when you've got a pain so you're not moving a body part, or things that are very specific like lymphedema, which happens when you had lymphatic compromised lymph node removal or damage to your lymphatic system. Then that's where I come in. My job is to systematically move that fluid. It's with something called manual lymphatic drainage, which is a big word. We'll just call it MLD. That's easier. And you move that fluid through the body so your body can get rid of it, get rid of the fluid, get rid of that inflammation, and also get rid of the toxins that are kind of getting stuck there in your body.
So are you doing this manually? That you're like
Right.
you're doing something manually on their body, like massaging it out, kind of?
Yes. Sometimes people call it lymphatic massage. It's not massage like I've had a massage where it's in there deep. It's really a pulling on your skin, manipulating that lymphatic fluid to flow optimally through the vessels to a point
So,
where your body can dispose of it as it needs to.
okay, so if a woman comes to you with a lot of inflammation, what would be the result of working with you? Like, what would happen?
So the result would be decreased inflammation and decreased pain.
Ah, okay.
So that's where most people feel the decrease of the pain is really better than the
Huge.
decrease in inflammation, right?
That's,
Because
yes.
that's what impacts our lives so greatly. So if somebody were to come into my clinic, we would assess them, where are your problem areas, and then it's kind of like clearing a traffic jam. We need to, everything kind of has to go up through this area right here. Okay, this is the end result. So we just kind of work backwards from there, clearing the path, clearing the path, clearing the path. Until we get to that area that is inflamed or having issues, and then working on that specific area. And then there's like a clear pathway through for that lymphatic fluid, which is taking the toxins, taking the extra fluid to dump back into your circulatory system and out of your body as needed.
Wow. Okay. So we have one viewer on. We unfortunately can't see who you are, so feel free to throw a comment down below. And thank you for joining us. Let me ask you, Sandra, what was your reason for wanting to start a business, start a clinic? Like you were an OT, and were you doing this in your OT work, or was
Right.
this something separate? Okay.
Nope. So this was something that I was doing as part of my regular practice. I've been working as an OT for such a long time, and in many ways, in many areas, but every area, there was always a point where insurance dictates a discharge from therapy. And I always wanted to give my clients and my patients a tool or a place to go to get help if they needed it. Not having to navigate back through the insurance system, but if they just needed a tune-up, if they just needed a little help. For some people, it's really hard. It's really hard for as a therapist to discharge somebody to just themselves. Similar to like when we are on a good workout exercise program, because we have somebody motivating us and then they'd say, okay, the program's over, you have to do it on your own. Sometimes that's really hard. And I always wanted to give my patients a resource that they could go to for a quick tune-up, for somebody to kind of help to manage things. And one day, when I never could find that thing, and one day I realized I could be that person. I could be the person that the other therapists are referring to. And that's when kind of a light bulb went on and I started putting the pieces together to start lymphatic wellness.
Awesome. And are you still practicing the OT, or you're strictly, this is your main
So
business?
this is my main business now. Not that it's not occupational therapy, but I am focusing completely 100% on the lymphatic clinic right now.
Yeah, that's so cool. So you really believe in this. You believe this. fiercely.
Absolutely. I think that there is a need for people to have help, skilled help in managing chronic inflammation and chronic swelling
And chronic pain.
and chronic pain. Right.
Yeah. So your big, that's your big why then.
Exactly. Exactly. Just to, yes, my why is to have a place for people to come who need that help with these chronic conditions. Chronic conditions are a lonely place to be, and you
Mm,
need support and you need help and you need just somebody in your corner to be a person to bounce ideas off of or just to get a quick tune up.
yeah.
It's just overwhelming to manage that on your own.
Wow. So let me ask you, what has been, because when you were working as an OT, were you in a, a practice that was not your own? Was it?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. So what was the
Yep.
biggest challenge as you shifted from working for someone else to working for yourself?
So I think the biggest challenge for me is that all my time is working time, really. You're always kind of thinking, when I was working for somebody else, you were told to be working, kind of. And sometimes I was a little bit, you know, didn't really necessarily want that. Now I'm making the decisions. I'm doing this because I want to do it. And it makes a tremendous difference in my desire to work and what I want to put out there, because I want to put out a good quality product, a good quality place for people to come. And so the motivation has completely shifted for me.
Yeah. And it sounds like you're more emotionally and mentally uh, charged by it, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. When you work in healthcare,
Invested emotionally and mentally vested in it.
yes. When you work in healthcare, you get bogged down by insurance, and you kind of end up working for an insurance company many times more than an actual person, and a person's treatment is dictated by what insurance they have, which is, I don't think, the right way. That's not how we should be working, but that's kind of what happens with Lymphatic Wellness Clinic. It's about the person. The time that they book is about them and about what they need to have happen. So there's a tremendous freedom to that.
That's awesome. So when things get really crazy and chaotic in your life, what are some of the thoughts and beliefs, the mindset that you need to employ to get get you through the day?
So I've been thinking about that a lot. And really, the thing is that this this new entrepreneurial vision that I have in this clinic that I'm starting um, is really about me and trying to be the best me that I can be. And if I put it in that perspective, all the tedious stuff and the frustration kind of dissipates, because it's about me growing, getting challenges, overcoming challenges, changing my mindset, thinking in different ways, trying new things. And for if I think of it in that way, it helps me kind of get over any of the frustrations or the challenges. If I just think of it as a growing experience and that I'm meant to go through this to get to the next step, that for me changes everything.
That's a great perspective. I love that. I love that. Okay, so what would be your advice that you'd give to a woman who's thinking about going down the entrepreneurial route?
My first piece of advice would be um, get get a support group, something that is going to help to spur you on, because if you try to do it, which I tried to do it on my own, and you are around in a circle about the silliest things, like I think even like business cards. Well, how do you do business cards? Oh, you just go, like, you can't make any forward momentum. If you're in a group of supportive people, you hear success stories, you get encouragement, and it propels you on and it pushes you. And that can be like a mastermind, like a local mastermind, like I'm in with you, Patty. I have kind of an online group that I also work, or two online groups, one that's more professional, one that's more personal. But I think that's the best thing, because you can get caught up in the details and never kind of move forward if you don't have people helping you to move forward. So that would be
Yeah.
my biggest piece of advice. I wish I would have done that earlier on.
Yeah, so it's important making that investment in yourself so that you can grow yourself and your business. So huge.
Right.
I have to say, like from our mastermind group, there has been such a shift in you, like from the beginning of the year to now, and it's been really fun to watch. And you're right, it is the who you're surrounding yourself with, right? You're the
Yes.
average of
Yeah.
the people that you surround yourself with. So
Yeah. And just make it, yeah, that mental shift of thinking of yourself one way and now think of yourself another way and the possibilities. And it's not just about a business, it's about your whole personal growth, which is
very fun.
really
Yes.
great.
So, what is the best mistake you've ever made? I love to ask women entrepreneurs that question.
I think the best mistake that I ever made um, was it was a long time ago, but it was always my dream to move to the mountains, to move to Colorado. And I made all sorts of plans to do that. And then at the last minute, I chickened out and didn't do it. And although many, many good things came from not doing that, um, I always wonder, what if? But as I look back on it now, several years later, I know that it changed my way of making decisions now. That regret is, ugh, I don't want to have that regret anymore. And I think since then, I've tried to live and make decisions without having regrets. So if it's risky or if it's scary or whatever that might be, do it anyway.
That's
Because that regret it's not worth it to have it.
worse.
Yeah,
Worse.
it's worse. And you can always undo what you've done. You can never really get the time back, but you always can kind of undo if you made a mistake. It's just a new launching point for something else. So that's probably my biggest, best mistake because it's changed a lot of decisions that I've made since then.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Awesome. Well, listen, tell the audience where they can find out more about you, both online and offline, and if you have anything coming up within your business.
Sure. The best way, I've got a Facebook page, which is Lymphatic Wellness on Facebook at Lymphatic Wellness Clinic. Also my website, lymphaticwellnessclinic.com. Best ways to get a hold of me. You can click, there's a contact button there, an email. If anybody has any questions, if you're seeing this later and you think you might have inflammation or you might have some sort of lymphedema or something that you're concerned about, if you go to my website, there's like a book now or schedule now button. If you click on that, it'll take you to a link and there's a free 15-minute phone consultation. So if you want to talk through some of your symptoms and see if manual lymphatic drainage or my services might be good, or if you need some sort of guidance, please go there. I would love to talk to you. Just schedule a time and then I will call you at that time and we can kind of talk it out.
Awesome, awesome. Well, awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking your time to be here today. You've given me a whole new perspective on being aware of what this lymphatic disease is and like opening my mind to it. And I'm sure the viewers are feeling the same way when they hear about what some of the things you described. So thank you. I appreciate it. And to everyone out there, I will be back next week, same time, same place, but with a new entrepreneur to share her story. Until then, have an amazing Wednesday.
Thank you, Patty.
Thank you.